Hello everyone, and today I got another cool video for you guys. In today's video, we are looking at the character trial aptitude showcase for Black Swan. She is a Nihility Wind user, which is pretty cool, and she looks really great. She looks really great. So let's start the trial so we can see what her skills are and see what her abilities do and everything else and see what makes this character so great or whatever. There's multiple ways to apply a special damage over time. Black Swan can trigger special effects based on the number of stacks that she has or they have. The enemies, and then use this character's ultimate to gain more DLT stats. That's pretty cool. So I'm using keyboard and mouse, unless you're using like a controller. If you're using a controller, you can use the buttons, but hold down tab. You can look at the character stuff. This is what the developers think that should go great with Black Swan. Look at her. So beautiful. Very, very beautiful. They gave her her light cone. We're going to look at the abilities here. This is her basic attack. Her basic attack actually has so much to it, more than most of the characters on this list. Deals wind damage equal to 54% of Black Swan's attack to a single target enemy, with a 62% base chance of inflicting one stack of Arcana on target. Additionally, when attacking the target that suffers wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock, there's a respectively a 62% base chance of inflicting one extra stack of Arcana on the target, which is really cool. So her basic attack puts more Arcana, which is awesome. That's pretty darn cool. And it's at level 5. Her skill. So there's a lot to the skill. So let me go through and read. So Decadence, False Twilight. Deals wind damage equal to 78% of Black Swan's attack to a single target enemy and adjacent targets. At the same time, there's a 100% base chance of inflicting one stack of Arcana on the target enemy and adjacent targets. Additionally, there's is a 100% base chance of reducing the defense of the target enemy and adjacent targets by 19.3%, lasting for 3 turns. So she shreds defense with this skill, which is pretty cool, and she hits 3 users. And then, after using this skill to attack the single target enemy that has wind shear, bleed, or burn, or shock, each of those debuffs respectively has a 65% base chance of inflicting one extra stack of Arcana. That's pretty cool. So let's take a look at her ultimate. Her ultimate is called Bliss of Otherworld's Embrace. Inflicts Infamy on all enemies for 2 turns. When inflicted with Infamy, enemies Epiphany. I'm sorry, I'm saying it wrong. Enemies take 22% increased damage in their turn. Additionally, if enemies are also inflicted with Arcana, they also are considered to be simultaneously afflicted with wind shear, bleed, burn, and shock. After Arcana causes damage at the start of each turn, its stacks are not reset, which is really cool. This non-reset effect of Arcana stacks can be triggered to 1 time for the duration of the Epiphany, and the trigger count resets when Epiphany is applied again. It deals wind damage equal to 108% of Black Swan's attack to all enemies. Remember, this is based off the attack. But if you want to increase damage over time, damage wise, focus on the bonus damage, because that's where the bonus damage lies for increasing the damage over time effect to deal more damage. So, like, if you were doing like Luca, for instance, and he puts bleed and it does like a certain amount, if you increase his damage output, his damage, his bleed will be affected by it, and it will go up. Technique. Let's read her technique. Her technique is like before she gets into battle. So after the technique used, there's a 150 base chance for each enemy to be inflicted with one stack of Arcana at the start of the next battle. For each successful application of Arcana on a target, inflicts another stack of Arcana on the same target. This process repeats until Arcana fails to be inflicted on this target. For each successful application of Arcana on a target, its base chance of success is equal to 50% of the base chance of the previous successful infliction of Arcana on the target. So meaning is that if you have her effect hit rate up pretty darn high, it's going to keep triggering Arcana stacks and literally until it stops, which is pretty cool on her technique. And this is before she enters battle. You just do it and stuff like that. Then we're going to take a look at the talent. These are massive paragraphs that I'm reading, okay? So it's going to take a little time for reading. So this one's called Loom's Fate Capris? I'm going to just say Capris. I don't know. Catapris. Caprice. Alright, let's move on. You can make fun of me in the comments down below if you want, or whatever, but it's whatever's. Every time an enemy target receives damage over time at the start of each turn, there's a 61% base chance for it to be inflicted with another stack of one stack of Arcana. While inflicted with Arcana, enemy targets receive wind damage over time equal to 204% of Black Swan's attack at the start of each turn. Each stack of Arcana increases this damage multiplier by 10%. So, since you can get up to 50 stacks, because it says then Arcana resets to one stack. Arcana can stack up to 50 times. So the damage multiplier is going to go up to 50%. It's already at 10, and it's going to go up 50 more times. Actually, take that back. It's 10 times... That's 10 times 50, so that's 500. Yeah, that's a 500% damage multiplier. That's actually pretty high. Yeah, because it's like, wait a second. This stacks up 10 times. This damage multiplier by 10, and it goes up 50. Yeah, that's 500. Only when Arcana causes damage at the start of the enemy target's turn, Black Swan triggers an additional effect based on the number of Arcana stacks inflicted on the target. So that's why they reset unless you use her ultimate. Then it don't reset, which is really cool. When there are 3 or more Arcana stacks, she deals wind damage equal to 153% of Black Swan's attack to adjacent targets, with a 61 base chance of inflicting one stack of Arcana on adjacent targets, which is really cool. Getting 3 or more. You can instantly get 3 or more, like at the start of battle, if you use her one thing, because they just stack up really quickly. If her effect rate hit is extremely high, you're just going to get these stacks really fast. When there are 7 more Arcana stacks, enables the current damage over time dealt this time to ignore 20% of the target's adjacent target's defense. So it ignores 20% defense once it hits 7 or more. That's still really good. That is really good, actually. That's really good. So the rest of the talent is called Goblet's Dredge. These are bonus effects she gets from her traces. That's where you get these bonus effects. It's not from the Eidolons. When the enemy target enters battle, there's a 65% base chance for it to be inflicted with one stack of Arcana. Every time an enemy target receives damage over time during a single attack by an ally, there's a 65% base chance for the target to be inflicted with one stack of Arcana. The maximum numbers of stacks that can be inflicted during one single attack is 3. So she can automatically When the enemy gets hit, they can get 3 stacks of Arcana pretty darn quickly, and then he increases this unit's damage by an amount equal to 60% of the effect hit rate, up to a maximum damage increase of 72%. So if you increase her effect hit rate, you're increasing her damage output, which is really good, which in turns increases her damage output, which increases the wind shear damage that she's able to do from her damage over time. Uh, and then if you get her Eidolons, she becomes even better. So let's take a look at the light cone. This is the light cone you can roll for. It's only a day left anyway, so I'm doing this the day before it ends because Sparkle will be here soon, and I'll be making videos on Sparkle. She is I won't be rolling for Sparkle, so I'm going to skip. Increases the wearer's effect hit rate. So Reforge Remembrance is the name of the light cone. Increases the wearer's effect hit rate by 40%. That's really good. When the wearer deals damage to an enemy inflicted with wind shear, burn, shock, or bleed, each respectively grants 1 stack of profit, stacking up 4 times. In a single battle, only 1 stack of profit can be granted for each type of damage over time. Every stack of profit increases the wearer's attack by 5% and enables the damage over time dealt to ignore 7.2% of the target's defense. So now, if you get 7 stacks, you're already ignoring 20% defense, and then every stack of profit increase, because so you can stack up 4 times, so that's 7, 14, that's 28%. You're going to be increasing 28% more defense reduction. So that's like a 40% defense reduction, close to it, because it's adding 2 different stacks of 20%, so they're multiplied probably different and everything else for that. But this light cone's really good. It's not broken. That's the difference between Fu Xuan's light cone and some of the Harmony character light cones that affects the whole party. These are just affects the monsters. It's still pretty good. It's built just for her, but you can use this light cone. So think of it as you can use this light cone on someone else, like a Sampo or Gunaifen, since they both fall into the Nihility category. So let's take a look at her traces. These are her traces. You can see they never max them out. They will always be at 8. Maxed out for me is 10 on everything. Everything's maxed out. Like, all of it. That's how I do my characters. I do all of it. I don't skip. This is what her armor is. I already know this is going to be a good set because I've been already farmed a bunch. And then they put the effect hit rate, which is pretty cool. So I wonder how would she do if she had break effect armor and stuff, which would be really cool instead of what the developers think. Most people probably went with attack or something else to build up her stuff, but also the damage output. So her effect hit rate is 124%, which is cool. Her wind damage boost is 46%. So you can see she looks pretty cool. So this is giving the wind boost, and then this is probably giving, like there, you can get effect hit rate on the armor piece. So yeah, you can see what there, and then the Eidolons that she has is 0. So this is where if you get her E1, because I was trying to go for her E1, and then I failed, and then ended up getting Yang Cheng again. I was like, yay, I got Yang Cheng. I'm not gonna probably use them, but I do have them at E1. So while Black Swan is active, and while Black Swan is active in battle, enemies afflicted with wind shear, bleed, burn, or shock will have their corresponding wind, physical, fire, or lightning resistance respectively reduced by 25%. This is what makes her shred even more of their defense. This is really good. She's very powerful. She's a very powerful character if you want her, but that's if you want to have one powerful Nihility character, because she looks like she's can work all by herself, and she doesn't need anyone else to pair up with to make her really powerful. Let's take a look at the number 2. I know this one's gonna be a little bit longer because I'm trying to figure out what makes these character aptitude be a little bit better. When an enemy target afflicted with Arcana is defeated, there's a 100% base chance of inflicting 6 stacks of Arcana on adjacent targets. That's really good if you get her at E2. You gotta spend like probably $1,000 or more to get her up this high. While the Infinity state, enemy targets have their effect resistance reduced by 10%. At the start of the turn, or when they get defeated, Black Swan regenerates 8 energy. This energy regeneration effect can only trigger up to 1 time while Infinity lasts. And the trigger count resets when Epiphany is applied again. So this is when you do her ultimate. So this applies this effect when she's doing her ultimate. Then you got the +2, and then if you get her at E6, when the enemy target gets attacked by Black Swan's allies. So this is the party, the entire party. Black Swan has a 65% base chance of inflicting 1 stack of Arcana on the target. Every time Black Swan inflicts Arcana on the enemy target, there's a 50% fixed chance to additionally increase the number of Arcana stacks, this time by 1. So this is really good. If you get her to E6, she's basically adding so much Arcana stacks. It's unbelievable. But I would say if you just get her E1, if you're trying to get her by before this banner runs out, and then they'll probably do reruns in the future. This would make this a little bit easier to get, because I would like to E6 a character one day, when I probably will save up for trying to do that, because an E6 5-star character, not a 4-star character. You know, I don't know why they have 4 and 5 stars in the game when you don't have 3 or 2 or 1-star characters in the game. So I don't know. It's just 4 and 5. It's just weird. That's all I think. And then the characters that are palled with is Gunaifen. So let's take a look. I'm not reading her stuff. This is the light cone, because I did a video on Gunaifen already. This is her stuff here. And then this is the relics. And then this is her eidolons. So I have her at E6 on my account. And then Sampo here, he's going to have got his light cone. You can see here, Eyes of Prey. These are his traces. Never really maxed out. These are his relics. And then these are the eidolons. I also have him at E6 also. So they work so much better at E6. They're so strong. And then Natasha, they always give her the abundance light code. I was like, it's always their light code, unless you're using Gunaifen. They actually gave her solitary healing, and that is from the Herder shop light code. So, which I was surprised. Post-op conversion. These are her traces, Natasha, and then this is her relics. They always like going with this. So she is giving out a wide buff to both party members of +8. If her speed is there, 137, well, add 2, you're at 100. So yeah, she's giving out the wide buff to everybody, which is nice, giving up +8% for that. And then there we go. So this is what she looks like up close. Woo. There's her thing. And so let's start this fight. This character, a lot of reading. So you can read this again. This is your choice, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to hit there. Added 4 stacks of Arcana. Yo, this one got 5. That one got 4. That one got 3. So right now, this, since it has 3 Arcana stacks, just take a look and see. It does get that special effect of, it doesn't get the different shred. It gets something else at 3. I forget what it was already. Yo, this is like, I have to keep watch just to make sure. It was from the talent at here, each stack of Arcana. The damage multiplier is going to be like a lot, and each one's different. When there's 3 or more, deals wind damage equal to 153% of Black Swan's attack to adjacent targets. So they're going to take a lot of damage. because they're at 3. All of them are at 3 stacks. Automatically at 3. She doesn't have any bonus things on here. Same. You can see no extra bonus stuff. But yeah, it's mostly just on the enemies here, so you can see how much they stuff and stacks up. So one inflict burn. So now they have 7, 4, and 6. This fight is going to be easy. We're going to do his. $17,000. So Arcana stacks never go away. That's the difference. That's what I'm noticing. They are never going away. So you can see the Decadence False Twilight is on here. Then you can see the Fire Kiss is also increasing damage. She also has Burn. So she's a very strong character. We're gonna do her ultimate.
That'll take more than medicine.
We're just going to attack.
What are you waiting for?
And then we're gonna add this on. I do think Black Swan just matches with other characters would be so fun. I haven't tested it out yet because I haven't leveled up her skills or did anything like that yet. Because I've been focusing on Clara since I wanted to do Clara, so. He has 14 stacks of Arcana.
All better now? Destiny's hand has truly blessed me.
Try this on for size.
Come feast your eyes. It's never too early. For a happy new year.
And so, there is the battle, and that is the Black Swan Character Trial Aptitude Showcase. If you do like the video, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments down below or whatever. But this is just from what they think, and I want to say thank you guys for checking out today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.